I've also noticed something that has caused a little bit of ambivalence on social media, but it's something I think that is worth talking about. And that is, should we engage in the familiar kind of thoughts and prayers for Joe Biden at this time, and extend to him a certain olive branch of at least well wishes. I mention this because certainly a bunch of the January 6th people have been just ripping this guy mercilessly. Here is Philip Anderson. Joe Biden got cancer? Good. I look forward to seeing him suffer and die. Biden was an effing dictator who wrongfully persecuted the January 6ers to the point of suicide. There's another guy who said, hey, I have cancer. I was denied cancer treatments in prison by the Biden administration. And when I brought it up, they jeered at me. They laughed at me. And so this was the Biden regime's attitude. So is it the case that when you have wounded these people grievously, they are now expected to turn around and offer, quote, thoughts and prayers for you to, hey, we're sorry to hear you have cancer. We hope that you get better. The J6ers, at least some of them, are like, we're not going to do that. This is a sort of a karma. And this is actually a very bad guy. And, we are in the position of the Israelites, and we see that Goliath is now stricken. We're not sending thoughts and prayers to Goliath. We're actually happy that Goliath got a blow to his head. We're actually happy that Goliath is going to come crashing down. And it is righteous for us to feel this way. This is the issue I want to raise, because it gets into the whole issue of forgiveness, of turn the other cheek, of how we should think about these kinds of issues. And as I say, there's a bunch of MAGA people that are right out there on the warpath. In fact, one woman, Cynthia Holt, she actually made me like gulp and almost laugh out loud, but her remark is unbelievably harsh. She goes, well, I guess we can now see that, Hunter Biden is going to try to sort of start banging Jill Biden so he can get future access to crack money. And I'm like, wow. I mean, that takes things to a whole new level. And yet, as I thought about it, I thought, insane though that is, that's a possibility. I mean, that is actually within the character of Hunter Biden. That's how he operates. Notice what he did when his brother Beau Biden died. He immediately started an affair, or he immediately started a relationship with Beau Biden's wife. So these people are morally depraved. And by the way, I think it comes straight from the top down. Joe Biden is morally depraved. So, you've got this guy, Joe Biden. He's been corrupt his whole career. So he's an old, wizened crook. He's also a guy who proved in the last 4 years that he is a merciless guy with a tyrannical streak. And even if he wasn't always giving the order, other people were giving it, this guy was completely okay with it. You notice that when he stood up in that famous speech where he clenched his fists and you've got the kind of red fascist or Nazi background, this guy was just reveling in calling his political opponents, traitors. He had no problem treating conservatives as domestic terrorists. He had no problem locking up parents, locking up pro-life activists for doing nothing other than praying in an abortion clinic. He had no problem with, of course, incarcerating, often throwing into solitary confinement, long periods of incarceration for people who walked into the Capitol and were there for a few minutes peacefully, didn't hurt anybody. So Biden basically was one of these guys who was a kind of a Nero, meting out draconian punishments and actually taking a certain sadistic pleasure in it.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.